Hello, fellow YouTubers. Last night, I saw Transformers last night, and you know what? Screw the critic reviews. That was the best film in the franchise I've seen by far. Uh, so I'm gonna make a review out of it. Also, spoiler alert: I will be bringing up details of the film, major key points, and all that. And so, if you have not seen it, turn back now. This is a warning. Or you can skip to whatever part of the video, whatever part of the review that doesn't give you spoilers. Anywho, my opinion of Transformers last night, well, based on what I saw, there were few explosions throughout the whole film. And what was really different, I think what set this one apart was that it was focusing on the plot instead of just like the explosive action. Now, a lot of people may not agree with what I'm about to say, but I think Michael Bay wasn't really focused on all the explosions as when it at certain points of action when it came. He was actually trying to get to explain the detail and plot of what was really going on. So, as we see in the beginning of the film, it it starts. The film starts at like medieval times, where the guy Merlin, played by Stanley Tucci, who I thought would be reprising his role as Joshua Joyce from the fourth film, who is said to be like a sorcerer who helps King Arthur conquer, win the battle. I don't know much about the Arthur mythology, but in the film he's aided by these 12 knights. Who've been around on Earth longer than Optimus and the rest of the Autobots have. How do I... Oh, yeah. And, of course, Anthony Hopkins is in it, which I really liked his character. He's really funny. And so, Merlin, with the help of the 12 knights, who transform into a three-headed dragon, again, spoilers, turn back now, or skip to any part of the video where I don't bring up spoilers, they help win the fight. Now, 1,600 years later, Anthony Hopkins, I forgot the name of the character he plays as, Sir Edmund Burton, I think, and his Transformer assistant, Cogman, discovers that Cybertron's on its way, and they realize that something big's happening. So, and we skip to we get to one of the cities that are under occupation of this TRF, Transformers Reconnaissance or Recon Force. Somebody type that in the comments below if I'm getting it wrong. Anywho, it revolves around these two kids. One of which is a 14-year-old Isabella, and her robot transformer companion, Squeaks, and a Canopy, kind of transformer that transforms into like some kind of landfill, which is obviously a goner, which we all pretty much saw that coming. Trailers, Michael Bay, come on. Then we see the hero from the last film, Kay Yeager, played by Mark Wahlberg, enter the scene, and he runs into a much older Transformer who gives him a sort of medallion. Oh, hang on. Okay, now, as I was saying, I'm trying to remember the plot. Oh yeah, it gives him some sort of medallion, and we then go to a junkyard where Cade and the rest of the Autobots are taking refuge, along with some other ones they came upon along the way. So yeah, they've been hiding out. They're fugitives. I'd rather fight against the law that terminates all Transformers, regardless of faction, instead of just obeying a law that I don't agree with. Yeah, breaking the law that we don't agree with. Rebels. Then we cut to to where Barricade runs into Megatron, and with Barricade's knowledge, he informs Megatron that Cade has this kind of medallion, which is like crawling all over his body, and Megatron knows something about a staff which Merlin used to win that kind of battle we saw in the beginning of the film, and he knows that it means something. Meanwhile, Optimus is floating in space. He finally arrives at Cybertron. He discovers that Quintessa, which I knew they were going to introduce the Quintessence. I didn't think it would be a female robot, though. But apart from that, the Quintessa is the Transformers creator, which, no, we've seen plenty of Transformers mythology to know that the Quintessence didn't create the Transformers. I'm pretty sure it was Primus who did that. And to my surprise, I also saw this film with a friend of mine, and to my surprise, they mentioned Nemesis Prime, and Quintessa brainwashed Optimus, made him turn to the dark side, and he becomes Nemesis Prime for like a short time. Most of the film, we don't really see him which at one point, as the film progressed, I thought, this film feels kind of empty because of something, and that was because Optimus was barely had any screen time in the film. Only towards the end of the film he did, and then Cade is on the run when the TRF finds their hideout, and they're aided by the Decepticons. Yeah, talk about hypocrisy. Who has new Decepticons at his side, and let me tell you, they're hilarious. You'll laugh at that scene when any of you folks have seen it. Again, spoilers. And then Megatron retreats after a short attack. Then Cade and Bumblebee, well, just mainly intentionally Cade, is recruited by Burton via Cogman, his robot assistant. Hang on. So I did get that character's name right. Sir Edmund Burton. And they later learned that mankind has a broad history with the Transformers than anyone thought. And it was because of one thing. It says that if the staff is put into the wrong hands, which is Quintessa's hands, which we later learned in the film, Cybertron will heal itself, killing Earth, but also unleashing something underground. And the name Unicron is mentioned. Oh yes. The rest of towards the end of the film, they find this kind of ship, and they run into the 12 Knights. And Optimus, who is now under Quintessa's control, takes away the staff held by the character Vivian, played by some actress I've never heard of, and then Optimus and Bumblebee go engage in a showdown, which was pretty good. Friends for a long time, who I'm trying to think here, guys. Who go head to head, and then to snap Optimus out of Quintessa's control, he ends up speaking again. And Optimus says, "I have not heard your voice since Cybertron fell." Now my best impersonation of Optimus, but whatever. So then Megatron and the rest of the remaining Decepticons he has with him come out of nowhere and take away the staff. Just as Optimus is about to be executed, this is when the title of the film comes in. It's revealed that Cade is the Last Knight, which was mentioned earlier in the film when Burton brought that up, and and Cade pulls out a sword, and he holds up the sword, and the 12 Knights circle around Optimus and Cade, and salute with the sword thing. Then they team up with TRF, who just rip off the badge. Literally, it's in a scene. Isabella joins the fun. Seriously, the rest of the scene was epic. I was just my eyes were just watching the whole thing, and I only took 2 restroom breaks, but I was quick to come back. And then they try to defeat Quintessa, and we all know how it ends. Good guys save the world, everything, blah blah blah. But towards the end, Quintessa's still alive, even after Bumblebee shot her. And woo! It's revealed in the post-credit scene that some scientists are analyzing some kind of weird spire at some location in Europe, and Quintessa, disguised as a woman, mentions the name Unicron again, how to destroy him. So it's not over yet. Because fans, including myself, have been wanting the film series to introduce Unicron into the film series, and from my experiences in the Transformers universe, Unicron is the big bad. I mean, if anyone remembers the first 1986 film, at least I think that was the year that film came out. Unicron is threatens Cybertron's existence because destroyer of worlds, and it says so in like Transformers Prime. But Unicron is definitely the big bad. He's worse than Megatron, worse than the Fallen, worse than any of the previous villains in the last 4 films. And yeah, we could be in for one gnarly and crazy sequel the next time. That is, if they're going to introduce a Unicron. Now, since Michael Bay announced that this will be the last film he'd be directing, I say that the producer of the film throughout the series, this whole run, Steven Spielberg, should take the helm, direct the films himself, because come on, the man has his way with science fiction, and who knows, it could give the franchise the film series a better reception than what Michael Bay provided. But because hey, Steven Spielberg has experience, critics love him, but I'm saying screw the critics on this one. Steven Spielberg should take the helm because he is a fan of the Transformers franchise. If I remember correctly from what I've read last time, and so it's explosive action, of course. But I think this one was focusing on the plot, which I think it did very, very well. A lot of you out there might think I'm like, dude, are you insane? That film focused on the explosions and action. Well, to my eyes, I like to focus on the plot, and what I saw was the plot, and well, they're about to introduce the big bad, and again, that's Unicron. Now, this was a spoiler warning, so if you heeded my warning at the beginning of the video, please turn back. But if any of you have seen the movie Transformers Last Night yet, please see my review. I know there's like a lot more details to the film, but I just wanted to bring up major plot points. Also, Anthony Hopkins dies in the film. Spoilers! Yeah, they killed Hannibal Lecter. So, if all of you enjoyed that, please press like and subscribe below, and also comment on what you think of my review. And also, I might be doing some other stuff. I don't know what it is, but still have not found another way to make gaming playthroughs. But I'll let you know. I'm about to play Mass Effect Andromeda after this video. So this is Ultra Saiyan 419. Rock on. God bless.